the godfather of Virginia politics, the minority leader of the Virginia Senate, the godfather, Dick Saslaw. Mr. Leader, great to have you.
Thanks, John. It's good to be here. I was kind of curious as to, Gingrich blasting Hillary Clinton. She has that party totally spooked. I mean, totally spooked. They have just become paranoid.
Well, there's certainly I've been here a day and a half now. There's certainly she's getting a lot of attention, no question about that. And some people were telling me last night that when she announces her candidacy, that she's going to raise $500 million in the first cycle, some enormous amount of money.
I wouldn't be surprised. She's extremely popular. The business community is very high on her. She'll outraise any Republican, and that includes the money that the Koch brothers made. She's got the Walton family on her side.
You guys are still talking about the Koch brothers. What do the Koch brothers have to do with anything? They don't have anything to do with this.
Oh, no, but you hear that all the time about the Koch brothers, the Koch brothers, the Koch brothers. Let me tell you something. They got chump change compared to the people who are going to be backing her.
No, that's what I mean. So the Koch brothers are ridiculous. All right, Godfather, let's get to Virginia politics.
Sure.
Right now, you guys passed the budget. Were you guys happy with that?
Yeah. They did a good job. Both sides got pretty much what they wanted. I mean, nobody gets 100% of what they wanted, but you didn't have there was no acrimony. It all got, negotiated in an adult environment, and everything's worked out. The governor got together, with the conferees, and everything went pretty smoothly.
What do you see in the next couple of days? I mean, we're just about to wrap things up. Are there going to be any surprises?
Not really. I mean, you've got some controversial, or I don't know. Well, you got. I don't want to confuse controversial with highly publicized. I think they pretty much will get resolved. The campus sexual assault bills, and the ethics or campaign reporting guideline bill appears to might possibly be catching a fever, but that's got a ways to go. But most of the other stuff will come out of conference and be approved. Those are probably the two biggest items that are left to be negotiated.
Well, it's been a rather smooth General Assembly session, right? You guys are getting along. Nobody's fighting.
Yeah, and quite frankly, that's the way government's supposed to work. And getting back to that, and this is one reason, why I remember going to a rally right before the 2013 gubernatorial election. Bill Clinton was speaking. It was up in Northern Virginia, and he pointed out how our system is built, to work on negotiation. And he pointed out, he says, I was negotiating almost daily over a variety of things with people who were voting to run me out of town. And he says, because that's what you do to make government work.
Well, there's no question. Look, he set the standard for that, and I can tell you, Godfather, I covered Newt Gingrich extensively during that period. Gingrich and Bill Clinton fought in the media, but they talked on the phone 3 times a week and got things worked out.
That's how the system's meant to work. And I think it may be Chris Matthews. I'm not sure, but I think it's doing the book on the relationship between Tip O'Neill and President Reagan. And that's the way, there were 2 guys that, from 9 to 5 would beat the daylights out of each other, and then an hour later, Tip's down at the White House, having a drink.
You have to be able to have a dialogue. All right, I got 5 minutes. I'm going to go to politics. I'm going to go over a couple of races, get your thoughts
Sure.
on them. Obviously, you're down one. In order to become the majority leader, you've got to get a net gain of 1, so you can get back to a tie. Let's get to District 6, Linwood Lewis, Richard Ottinger. What do you see?
Linwood has been campaigning since the day he got elected. I mean, he has not stopped, and he's going to do very well. And we are going to have a ground game there that is unbeatable. In fact, in that whole region.
District 21, John Edwards, Nancy Dye.
The strongest candidate John ever faced was David Nutter, and it was 56-44. And in fact, Kerry and Warner carried that district.
All right. Jeff McWaters just stepped down. That's the 8th district. Do you have a shot there?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. But let me tell you this. I'm sorry to see Jeff go.
He's a good guy.
It would make it harder for us, obviously, if he was running again, a lot harder, to win the seat. But he was a contributor.
Frank Wagner has a pretty stiff challenge in this
he does.
Executive from Cox Communications.
Let me tell you something.
How do you see that?
Well, that's going to be very, very close. I will tell you, his opponent, who was president of Cox, an Army Ranger, has a resume to die for. And Gary McCollum is, he is a very accomplished man, and he will be, it's going to be a very close race.
What do you see in the Reeves race?
That's a harder district. That's a harder district. I mean, we'll have to see how that unfolds, but that's a little harder area.
Now,
we've got a very aggressive candidate in there. Hold on one second.
There's some Republicans that think they're going to win Charles Cogan's seat. What do you say about that?
Yeah. But by the way, Tracy Dippert, she'll work 24 hours a day. But it's a difficult district, but she will work 24 hours a day. In Colgan's district, we got a primary. That's a district that was won by a pretty big margin by both McCall and Obama. Obama was over 60%. He was like 63, 64% in that district. It's a majority-minority district.
So, Senator, right now, let's see, this is March, April, May, June, July, August. We're
going to win Watkins' seat.
You think you're going to win Watkins' seat? Why?
That's a heavily Democratic district, and Dan Gecker is the supervisor in the Chesterfield part, which is really the Republican part of the district, and McAuliffe, I think, was at 55%, and so was Warner in that district. That is, we will win that. We're not even, that's not even going to be close. And we'll win that in a round. I would not be surprised to see Gecker pick up, win by close to 60% of the vote.
So to become the majority leader in the 2016,
you need to hold what we got and pick up one.
Hold everything you have, and win the Watkins seat, right? And
then
you're in.
That would do it.
But I thank the Godfather for being with us, Dick Saslaw.